Having this one skill helps you defeat and destroy the narcissist because they lack this skill. And that's the ability to criticize yourself. That's the ability to self reflect. This might sound strange because you could say, well, I criticize myself all the time, but you have to understand that that isn't you anymore. That voice in your head that tells you you're not worthy, that voice in your head that tells you you're not enough. The narcissist has replaced your inner critic. I lost myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. I couldn't recognize myself in the mirror because the narcissist stole my identity. That's why we do things when we're with them that are so out of character. We can walk in one person and leave the relationship a completely different person because the narcissist is against us, because they don't want to see us win. We begin to ignore our needs. This is probably uncharacteristic of us. All of my thoughts were about pleasing the narcissist because their interject invaded my mind, told me that I wasn't enough when before I knew them, I felt like enough. I was in the happiest state of my life before I met the narcissist. The narcissist hates themselves. And that's why when our inner critic is replaced by the narcissist, we begin to hate ourselves. We begin to think like a narcissist. We focus too much on the narcissist because we have to walk on eggshells around them. We are worried we'll say any little thing that's going to upset them. But I know now that it's impossible. I know now. At the time, I didn't know what narcissism was. I didn't know that this was a disordered person that it was never going to work with. What I really want, which is true love, a happy, healthy relationship, I have to stop ruminating about the narcissist. I want to be in that state where I'm content with who I am. I don't want to have to need them because they're never going to give us what we truly want, which is a genuine loving relationship. And I now know that no contact, or at least low contact, if no contact isn't possible, is the first way. My inner critic, it was beaten down so much by the narcissist. My inner voice was so small. Yes, you must physically remove yourself from the narcissist, but as I've just said, that inner critic is still inside of you. Why is that voice in your head always about missing the narcissist, about hating them maybe? It's always something, right? Maybe plotting revenge. The narcissist is still winning if you let that inner critic live on. I harp on this a lot, but meditation truly helps. The thing about meditation, when you sit there alone with your thoughts, you have nothing else to do but reflect. This is something a narcissist would never do. I can't imagine a narcissist meditating. Whether it's through their addictions or just constantly being with people, narcissists never like to be alone because they don't want to be alone for 2 seconds. They don't want to self reflect and realize what a terrible narcissistic person they are. One of the things I'm thankful I always have done is journal. I journal my dreams, I journal my day. And thankfully, I can now compare my pre narcissist to my post narcissist journaling. So I know on paper because sometimes memories are hard to recall. Memories are clouded by our emotions and by many factors. But when you write things down, they're set in stone and you can capture a memory for what it truly is. One thing you could do is ask your friends, ask people you trust who you've always been. People know you better because when you look at something as a third person observer, you can analyze it and criticize it without being emotionally invested. At times, it's hard to judge ourselves honestly because we are clouded by our own emotions. People usually idealize themselves and think highly of themselves, but being with a narcissist definitely clouds this. You know who you truly are when you sit there and think about it. Don't let the narcissist win. By using that skill of self reflection and self analyzing, a skill the narcissist isn't capable of, at least not in an honest way, because they analyze themselves. It's a common misconception that they don't self reflect, but they do it in a grandiose way. Narcissists will make these mental gymnastics to prove to themselves that you were the bad one and they were right about everything, which is insane. You know who you are, you know you're a good person. The narcissist did you wrong, and we have to come back to this truth.